We can get started. Hello and welcome to Opening the Doors, creating a new opportunity to reach students with food allergies. Again, I'm Tiffany Leon and I will be your moderator for this session. Today, we are grateful to be joined by Toni, Apadula, and Grayson Crabtree from Duke Dining, and I will let them take it from here.
Thank you, Tiffany. Well, as Tiffany mentioned, we are going to be talking about creating a new opportunity and being able to reach students with food allergies. I'm Grayson Crabtree. I'm the program director for Duke Dining.
And I'm Toni Apadula. I'm one of the campus nutritionists. I work with Duke Dining and with Duke Student Health. So we are going to ask you a question to get us started. So if you all would take a minute to just answer this quick question. Okay. Yeah, so we're in the same position as most of you were, who you can see you kind of have a rough idea of how many students you serve who have food allergies. A good number of you have no idea. We were also in that position at one point. And then there are some of you who I'd love to talk to who know exactly how many you have. All right, so we're gonna move along. This will get us started with our conversation on why we created this program.
Okay, so
what we wanted to really talk to you about today is really reaching out to students. And like most of you, we have our traditional ways of communicating what's in the food that we serve to our guests. We use point of purchase labeling. We have an online food analysis program that students can search for food allergen traits. But what we were finding is that the numbers of people that were communicating with us were not as many as we had hoped. And so what we wanted to do was to design a program that would reach out to those folks that we felt we were not reaching. So our friends at FAIR tell us that communication is a two-way street, but we want to make it easy. And so this was our answer to helping make it easier.
So from the poll that we asked you a question about, so when students confirm that they're going to have a dining plan for the upcoming academic year, we ask them if they have a food allergy and like what their food allergy is. So out of 5,628 students that live on campus, 603 of those students have a food allergy. So that's roughly about 10.7% of students that purchase a dining plan have a food allergy. So, and over the past years before we enabled this question on the dining confirmation platform, we were only in touch with like 9 to 19 students that contacted us to provide and like ask us questions a year. But now we have an exact number, and now we're able to navigate around our dining plan and our Duke Dining program to kind of figure out like which areas we need to reach more. And through this, we were able to see what the top allergies were that were on campus as well.
So this is the program that we created. It's called an Ask Me Food Allergen program. And Grayson's going to get into a little bit of a description of the program. But this basically afforded us a way at point of service for students to communicate directly with someone that they could identify easily.
So why did we create this program? So we created this program because we noticed that there could be a barrier between the student and the person at the cash register, because some students may not feel like they can easily confront the cash register employee that they have a food allergy, and they want to kind of address their concern, or they may like turn away and choose to eat elsewhere because of the food allergy. So we wanted to provide the customers with an easy, identifiable, like go-to person who they can address their allergen or dietary concerns with at the point of service. And because of this, we also wanted to create like awareness surrounding food allergies and dietary needs in the Duke community. So we wanted students to know that like they weren't alone, and that food allergies is a real thing and a prominent thing, especially through the past trends in over the last decade, the patterns that we've seen. But we wanted students to to feel like this was the thing we were comfortable with, and we were like creating awareness surrounding food allergies to know that we're ready, we're set for you, and like we can help provide your dietary meals through Duke Dining's program. And we also wanted to be able to, like I mentioned earlier, to like reach guests who may not want to openly disclose their food allergies. And part of this was being that, students may feel like they're bullied, they may feel peer pressure, they may feel like they're kind of a burden to the customers and even the employees. So what we wanted to say, hey, you can reach out to these team members, like they're part of our Ask Me program, and they're ready for you. They're ready to help answer any dietary questions you have. And so there are Ask Me representatives, and they are the food allergy experts at their Duke Dining location. So we have around 35 Duke Dining locations on campus, and there are Ask Me representatives throughout each of the Duke Dining locations on campus. And so any team members that have questions or like any dietary concerns, if they get questions asked to them, they know that they need to automatically relay these information, like the questions, to the Ask Me representative.
So the goal of the program was really to help the students that dine with us, and really the greater Duke community, who may have special dietary needs, food allergies, celiac disease, things like that, to help them feel comfortable and included. Because I think we all know that oftentimes people with food allergies feel excluded. They may feel like they can't participate at a specific location, or have join in specific experiences with their fellow students. And part of the social engagement in a university setting is really around food and a dining experience. The other piece was really to help empower our staff, to let them know that indeed we can safely and confidently serve these guests, and to give them the training and the resources that they need to do so in a safe manner.
So how does it work, you might ask? So the allergen experts are easy to identify in their purple Ask Me hat. And here's an example of one right here. So obviously the purple is because food allergies is the universal color for food allergies. And the logo is teal because that's also one of the universal colors for food allergies. So if you go to a Duke Dining location, you'll see maybe 2 or 3 Ask Me reps at each dining location, depending on the size. So, at a pizza and pasta station, we'll probably have about 3 or 4 Ask Me reps at a given time, but a coffee shop, whereas we might only have 1 because of the command at those locations. So these reps are easy to identify. And so each Duke Dining location has an Ask Me rep available. So the Ask Me reps are trained and certified through our Fair Check training program. And we require there to be an Ask Me rep available through each shift. And they'll be referred to as like the Ask Me allergen expert that's on duty. So being that the health department in North Carolina requires there to be a safe certified staff member on shift each time, that we said, hey, we can make this easy for them. We don't want to add any more work to their plate. So we want to make it easy for them. So we say, hey, since you already have to have someone that's certified, there can also, that person that's ServSafe certified can also be Fair Check trained as well. And so this way we both know that they're covered in both of those areas with one person, and that we know they'll have the proper understanding, caring, attentive, and customer service center attitude, which includes speaking the common language that's understood by the customer. And also the allergen Ask Me expert is the go-to person for the Duke community. And so any information that they need, any meals they need to be prepared, dietary requests, all will funnel through the Ask Me rep at that specific Duke Dining location.
So as you can imagine, this required a bit of a lift to get this program on board. We started out with a pilot location, and then expanded to all of our locations. We started out with a pilot location earlier this year, spring semester, and then we expanded to all locations on campus for the fall. So who are the leaders? Pretty much anyone you can in an administrative or managerial position at our location. So of course our chefs creating their recipes and really doing a thorough job of identifying food allergens in their recipes, and making sure that their staff is trained to handle cross-contact issues, things like that, to our location managers, who are the ones who identify potential Ask Me allergen representatives for their locations, our shift leads to make sure that they are scheduling a Ask Me representative for each shift, and that they're there and wearing their hats. Excuse me. And then our food service system manager, who runs our CEDRD program and our net nutrition program, who actually analyzes the recipes and adds the food allergen traits and keeps that updated. To dining administration, Grayson as the program director, myself as the nutritionist, and of course, our marketing and communication manager, who, there's that word again, communication, who helps us let students know, let the greater Duke community know that this program exists, and how to access and use the program.
Okay, so the resources and training that we provide. So we do the fair check training, which is required annually. And so Toni and myself are the two fair check instructors for all the Duke dining staff. So we probably have about 100 Ask Me reps on staff currently right now through all our Duke dining locations, out of about 600 team members for all of our employees, since we have 35 dining locations on campus. We provide them with the net nutrition online and also ingredient binders, because part of the fair check training is, to communicate with physical copies and with an online version. So the net nutrition is online, and we have ingredient binders at each Duke dining location that are purple, part of the Ask Me program. And so it has, for that dining location, it has like each food item that is at that location, and it has all the ingredients listed in that food item. And it also has the top 9 allergies that are in the food items. And then it has if like the food item is vegan, vegetarian, or gluten-free friendly. And also on the Ask Me, in the Ask Me binders, on each page, it has like when it was last updated. So any product substitutions, we have an SOP for, and we're able to write on like, hey, this product was changed. Recently at one of our Duke dining locations, we had gluten-free friendly chicken tenders, and we had, there was a product substitution because of everything going on related to supply chain. So they notified us immediately that there's a product change, and that those previously gluten-free friendly chicken tenders were not going to be anymore, and because they were going to be containing wheat. So we posted signage up around that Duke dining location. We updated the online CEDRD application, and we also updated the menu ingredient binders as well. So, and also we have the purple Ask Me hats, because that's part of the resources that we provide to the Ask Me reps, so that the students know that they are the ones that they can go to. We also give each Duke dining location an allergen kit. And so I know you all are probably familiar with the purple allergy kits, but so they are to be used for any student that says, hey, I would like my meal prepared without this allergy, because this is what I'm allergic to. So we have in the allergen kits, they have a cutting board, we have a knife, we have a purple thermometer that we included in that, and we also have tongs and spatulas. Also, we don't want to just kind of say, hey, you're Ask Me trained, there you go. So we want them to have that ongoing communication. So Toni and I work together simultaneously to provide them with like handouts and resources. And we also have to try to check in with them throughout the semester to make sure like they're good, and we help them answer any questions that they need, and just to make sure that they have the full understanding and knowledge that it takes to do this job.
So, okay, here we are with communication again. So how we wanted to talk through a little bit with you about how we market and communicate the program. So as students were moving in this semester, Grayson and I, as well as our communications director, marketing communications director, set up tables for information sessions. We had a banner like this. You can see behind us, it's backwards, but it is a full length banner. So people were very curious about that. We have some hats on the table that everyone wants, but we tell them unless you are trained, you cannot wear a hat. And then what we did is we had some giveaways. We had little journals posted, created that say "Ask Me" on it. We had allergy-friendly snacks that were provided, and really the colors in and of themselves drew people over. But we were able to connect with a lot of people during move-in that way. Last semester, sort of in the middle of the semester where we were doing our pilot program, we did a table, and we'll show you a picture of that a little bit later on. We introduced the program also on our social media accounts, and with an explanation. We are working on engaging students with allergy-free cooking demos with some of our chefs. At our fall festival this year, we had teal pumpkins with allergy-friendly giveaways in there. Advertising, we have screens throughout all of our locations, video screens that we have information about the program on slides, these big banners again on our website. And then I'm already mentioned social media. We also have a Duke Dining newsletter called What's Cooking. The program, as we launched it, was mentioned in this newsletter. With a full description of the program. And then DUSDAC, that's a lot of letters, but it stands for Duke University Student Dining Advisory Committee. So we have a committee of students that is on our dining committee. Within the greater committee is a subcommittee that that focuses on food allergens and special dietary needs. DUSDAC in and of itself has their own social media sites. They helped us communicate about the new program. And so this is sort of how we're getting the word out. And actually what we found is that the Ask Me representatives themselves were really talking up the program, because they again, this sort of gave them that feeling of empowerment that they could actually help, and they felt prepared to help. So they did a good job of talking up the program as well.
So you might want to know also how we're tracking results. So again, because we don't want to just put this program in place and say, okay, it's finished, we want to make everyone aware that this program is never ending. It's always going to be a continuous program, because as you all know, in the food service industry, that turnover rate can be pretty high for employees, not as much as program leaders, but for employees. So we want to make sure there's continuous and ongoing training, and that the program can be successful. So we're tracking results through from feedback from students that we meet with at the beginning of the year. And so we're able to follow up, and because when we meet with them and they identify to us that they won't help navigating through Duke Dining's program, we're able to follow up and say, hey, how's it going? And they've been letting us know that they're actually able to utilize the Ask Me program. And so they're able to refer back to the binders whenever they have ingredient questions, and those Ask Me reps are there on the spot and ready to prepare their allergen-friendly meal. We also have a mystery diner program in which we have a questionnaire, and we'll give the mystery diners a chance to participate in the Ask Me program. So we'll give them a allergy, we'll assign them a food allergy. So we'll have them go to the location and say that they have an allergy, and we'll have them go through the whole routine to say, hey, can you prepare my meal? I have this allergy. And so the Ask Me rep is able to, we're able to track to see how the Ask Me rep is performing. And also we get feedback through our Duke University Student Dining Advisory Committee. And we're able to see this way also how the Ask Me program is going, because we do have students in that program that have allergens. Through focus groups also, we meet with allergen students, and we also meet with students that do not have allergies, because we want to make sure that we're not eliminating any high food group items to the students that do not have food allergies. So we want to make sure that this Ask Me program and the allergen program that we have at Duke Dining is inclusive for all, like in providing that experience for them. We can also track results to the dining email account. We've gotten great feedback from students and even guests saying, hey, I was at your campus and I saw that you had an Ask Me program. Like, what a great way that you're able to reach out to students that have food allergies. And also through our social media outlets, we're able to do tabling too, like Toni mentioned. And so we do tabling throughout the semester, where we set up a table in one of our Duke Dining facilities, and we'll have like purple Ask Me tablecloth, and we're able to have students, just stop by and really engage and interact with us. And like this way, we were able to also see how the Ask Me program was working. We were also able to like talk with students who we never even knew. And even we had professors that came up to us complimenting the program and saying that they're able to utilize the Ask Me reps and the resources that we provide them with.
So as we were talking about the resources that we provide to our locations, and specifically our Ask Me Allergen reps, these are some pictures of what they are. So on the far left, that is, it's on a white background, so it's a little hard to see. That is actually a binder that has the ingredient list for each recipe that is at that location. Each location gets their own specific binder. So you can see that this one is for Il Forno and Il Forno only. We don't have all the locations in one binder. These again have any changes, as Grayson mentioned earlier, any change to recipes or ingredients are put in there immediately, and the date that those items were changed is in there, and there's a log of when that was entered and who entered it. You saw the Ask Me hat. That above that is the allergen food preparation kit. Only foods that are needing to be prepared specially should be prepared on those. Then below that, you see that circle that says safely prepared for you. We do have a mobile ordering system. So in order for a guest to know that we have prepared their food as they've identified having a specific food allergy, this sticker goes on a sealed bag, and it's held separately from other mobile ordering pickup foods. And so then that person knows, and they can even see on their receipt that the food allergen was acknowledged and taken care of. The last picture you see there is an iPad stand. We have a residential dining facility for our first year students. So versus using allergen ingredient binders there, we have an iPad that is set to Net Nutrition for Duke Dining, and the same type of information pulls up on Net Nutrition, the ingredients, the traits. And so our Ask Me reps will walk the student, if the student has a question or a customer has a question, they will walk them over to the Ask Me iPad stand and walk them through how to use the program and look through the ingredients to make sure that the customer is feeling comfortable with what they're ordering.
So what's next? As you can see down here, we have, this is what we're talking about, the tabling. So the purple tablecloth, and we do advertising. We also have Ask Me notebooks that we can hand out at those tabling events that students can come by and grab. And we have Ask Me pens too that we've branded. And then over the picture to the right is an example of an Ask Me binder being handed to a student who was asking about a particular food allergy. So what's next? We are actually in the process of having the Ask Me Allergen Program trademark. So Duke has filed a pending registered trademark for the Allergen Ask Me program with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Because of the great feedback, we thought this would be a great next step moving forward in our program and for Duke University. So, all right, question time. So we're ready to answer any questions that you all have.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing all about that program. I know FAIR has worked with you guys a lot over the last couple of months, and it's nice to see it come to fruition, and hearing about the pilot and hearing it like fully implemented is really awesome. We did get a question in the chat. I don't know if you were monitoring it at all, but Alexa asked, what's your washing process for the kits? I think she was referring to the allergen kits that you had up on the like 2 or 3 previous slides.
Yeah, sure. So the allergen kits need, they're, like I said, they're at each Duke dining location. We actually paid for these kits to be at each location. So again, we were just trying to provide them with the resources. We wanted to make it easy and very streamlined for them. So we wanted to provide them with the resources. So each Duke dining location has them. They are to be kept behind the register or like near or underneath the counter. So we don't need them in the office when the student comes up. They're right there readily available. So if a student says, hey, you know, I have an egg allergy, for example, I would like my meal prepared separately. So they'll pull out the kit from down below and they'll make their item with using purple gloves. You know, they'll go through the hand washing process, take off their gloves, change their apron, put on new purple gloves. And then they'll go and make their food allergy, and they'll prepare their meal only using the allergen kit. And after their meal is done, they'll give the customer their food. And that person also, the Ask Me rep, is to stay with their meal the whole time to make sure it's not passed down the line or not passed down to another person, especially if they're not Ask Me certified. So, and after the process, they will wash the kit using hot soapy water. And sanitize, let it air dry, and then they'll put the kit away until the next customer needs it. So. Great.
Thank you for that. I think you had mentioned that you have roughly 100 staff members that are trained in the Allergen Ask Me program. Have you had any issues with staff turnover or staffing shortages that have come up because of COVID, or is 100, a number of staff perfect for the 35 locations that you manage?
So 100 is definitely used intermittently, so it's definitely fluctuated some, but it stayed around that 100 mark. So as you know, there is turnover with staff, but not always the leaders, because these leaders are the ones that the restaurants have dedicated extra time. They're getting the extra pay for being leaders in the food industry, and so that's why we centered them around like shift leads and our supervisors, because we know that they're going to have that like more longevity with the company. Now, we had some Ask Me reps that have left within the last year, but and they have been replaced by other managers. So,
and it's a continuous training process, as you had mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so they don't come and say, oh, I have an Ask Me hat on. They have to be trained and certified, and I don't ever give them their Ask Me hat until I get the training certificates back from FAIR saying that they've completed the training.
Right. We got another question again about the kits. Do you use the purple allergen kit for all dietary requirements, such as food allergies and gluten, or do you have separate aids for gluten-free options like mixers and other equipment?
Yeah, so we do have gluten-free friendly fryers that we can use at all the Duke dining locations as well. And we actually have like a little purple handle or purple sticker on those fryers that to designate that that's for gluten-free friendly items only. And so we are able to use that kit for any gluten-free item as well if they request it made, because we do wash and sanitize it and put it away.
Okay, great. So just before this session, we had wrapped up a session on accommodating food allergies outside of the dining hall. And I know this is a program that's specific to dining halls. Do you guys have any ideas that you would like to share that help to accommodate students outside of the main dining locations, whether that's in concessions or athletics or other programs on campus?
I think what we have found helpful is just the communication piece of it, just saying, hey, we're here to help you, but we also say, students, you can feel free to reach out to us. And we do have signage that says you can talk to us, you can ask us any questions. And we have signage, as you know, Tiffany, around our Duke dining locations that says, please ask for a team member if they have any questions. But as far as the outside locations, we always say, hey, always check with the manager or the supervisor on any menu or ingredient item that they have a question about, and we always say, if I would just check, you have the final say and, letting them know if you want to eat there or not. But just say, I do feel comfortable or I don't feel comfortable, and say I don't care regardless, but just let me know so I can make that final decision.
Yeah. And you did mention orientation and some other pop-up events that you are hosting throughout different areas to reach out to the students, to let them know that that you are offering this, that you do have this program. And so you may have infiltrated other campus operations without even knowing it. All right. So
I
go
can
ahead, Toni.
add to that for one quick instance. So during orientation, there are welcome events where Duke Dining may not be catering certain events. So we communicate with our first year programs office, letting students know who have significant food allergens that we are happy, Duke Dining is happy to provide them with a safe meal. So that's sort of another option. There are specific focus groups that students can join, and they usually have a focus group dinner for the first years. And so they actually go and get their specific food there, or their food at the first year dining facility, and they bring it to their dinner. So those are sort of some other ways that we've been trying to navigate that.
That's awesome, because we heard in the first session about disclosure fatigue or stigma around food allergies. And so people don't want to disclose. People may think that they are being picky or that they're making it up. And by presenting this at orientation, just we're here for you if you need anything, bringing dining services to the student versus having the student have to seek you out can definitely break down barriers.
Yeah.
Along that same vein, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay. One other thing that happens during orientation week, or sort of, we have a 30 days to Duke webinar series that students and parents can sign up for. And we actually had a session where we introduced the program to incoming first years there during, and were able to answer questions about the program there too. So they already were sort of coming in knowing some of the information as well. Also helps to put parents and guardians minds at ease as well as to what we're doing, and putting a face with our names as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's the first time that many of them have been living outside of their own home. Parents may have been helping them manage their food allergies for their whole life, and now suddenly they're in a different place. They may be in a different state. It's a whole, everything is new. So it can definitely be a little bit of a shock when you get to campus. So that, and for the student and for the parents. So it's nice that you put the parents at ease a little bit. And I'll wrap up with one question, and then we're going to launch into our campus awards. You brought up DUSFAC.
Yeah. So
how do you recruit students for that program? We hear a lot about, and we preach it a lot. It's a two-way street. Make sure that it's easy, open lines of communication. But sometimes students don't want to participate in a dining committee, or they don't want to do some extracurricular that has to do with the dining hall. So how do you get students to participate in that program?
DUSAC was actually, it stands for the Duke University Student Dining Advisory Committee. And so this covers all of Duke dining. It's not just for food allergies, but so actually I'll give credit to the university because this was in place like way before our time that we have been here. So the students, we have co-chairs every year, and like the student group is funded by the Duke student government. So they do have funds that they have for in pertaining to DUSDAC, and that they're able to do events throughout the year. And so this way we can have, we get feedback throughout the year, and not just for allergens, like I said, but for a whole Duke dining program. And this is a way that we can reach out to different groups that have like different foods, and to make sure we're meeting the needs of the Duke community. So it's a broad array, and we have co-chairs each year, and then those co-chairs pick the next co-chairs for the following year. And so they work closely with Duke dining administration in that. So there's no loose ends. We have a full open communication circle that we work with them with. So we meet weekly during the academic year.
Weekly?
Yeah,
Weekly.
we meet this semester. We meet them every Monday night at 6:45.
Wow. And do you provide dinner?
No, but we do. So part of that with DUSDAC, we have food tastings because we're dining. And so we have food tastings that come. So we have food trucks that come, and we also have like emergence on points, which is like outside locations that we partner with. So they're able to invite them to the meetings to see, hey, we would like to taste your food, your product, ask questions to see if we'd like to bring you on board next year to work with dining and to feed the Duke community.
That's awesome. I mean, I think recruiting students who are already super busy to participate in a dining advisory board is huge. And we just got a comment, you may have covered this, but where can I find universities that have the Ask Me program? And it's unique to Duke,
Yes,
right? It's unique to Duke University.
So we created this program in December of 2021, and we launched it in January. And I think that December I trained over like 50 employees to get the program started, and we had a pilot program in one of our main dining halls on West Campus where we have all retail locations. So we created this program, and we are in the process of getting it trademarked and then later on patent. So it's new, and we've had a lot of great feedback. So we'd be happy to talk with you about it offline and answer any questions you have.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you guys so much. I think that's all we have time for as it relates to this presentation. We're going to pivot a little bit. We hope everyone enjoyed the last 2 days and learned a lot of things to help you in your amazing work. Before we sign off for another day, we can't forget to announce the winners of our 3rd annual Fair College Awards. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Shaw, who is the registered dietitian at Tufts University, whose campus was the recipient of the Best Campus Dining Award in 2021. I'm going to share my screen, but Kelly, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I really enjoyed listening to the discussions today and just being a part of this great community working to support students with food allergies. So as we know, we've heard many times, the transition to college is a particularly trying time for teens with food allergies. It's risky. They're often on their own for the first time without parents. So FAIR created the College Awards in 2020 to recognize schools that go above and beyond to make our students not only feel safe, but welcomed on their campuses. I personally hear from many prospective students and concerned parents that a safe dining experience on campus is a major factor in their school selection process. It's so exciting to be able to offer students with food allergies a safe, inclusive experience that begins the moment they arrive on campus. So let's get to it. The community awards are nominated by members of the food allergy community. Each year, it's exciting to hear from the community how much their schools mean to them and want to applaud them for their support of students with food allergies. Last year, the winner of this award was Bowling Green State University. Now, I am happy to announce that the Community Choice Award winner for 2022 is Auburn University. Auburn was nominated by Riley, who is a sophomore there. Riley shared her initial experience on campus as a student with many dietary restrictions, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, I thought finding food on campus would be a constant struggle. Thanks to Tiger Dining, I can happily say that this worry vanished as I entered the dining halls. She also says, I no longer have to worry about missing out on social outings to the dining hall that encompass a good part of the college experience, because I know I can always find something I can eat thanks to Tiger Dining. They are also always open to new ideas to improve the student experience. Last semester, Tiger Dining partnered with a plant-based organization on campus to provide a fully vegan meal at one of the grill stations. The line for the meal was so long and was composed of vegan and non-vegan students. Even if a student does not have an allergen, they too enjoy these options. Thank you so much to Auburn University and Tiger Dining for all you've done to build a welcoming, inclusive community for your students with food allergies. Next up, we have our Best Campus Dining Award. Colleges and universities nominate themselves for this award, and the winners are chosen by a committee of fair education, advocacy, and research staff. As Tiffany mentioned, Tufts University was the winner of this award last year, with Moravian University receiving the honorable mention. We are so thrilled to announce that the honorable mention for this category goes to a university Fair works closely with, which is Duke University. Duke's University, as we've all heard, Duke University's Ask Me Allergen Awareness Program stem from the recognition of the growing number of college students on campus with food allergies. The program was created to increase staff education and training about food allergies and create a dining culture where guests feel comfortable inquiring about food allergens at Duke dining locations on campus. Thank you, Grayson, Toni, and all of Duke Dining for your amazing commitment to your students. We are so excited to see what the future holds for you at Duke. And finally, our Best Campus Dining Award winner is Southern Methodist University. In their submission, they said, not only do both SMU dining halls, Arnold Dining Commons, and Humphrey Lee Dining Center accommodate students with allergies at specific designated stations, our on-campus convenience stores do as well. In addition, during outdoor events like last spring's Spring Fest, SMU Hospitality has a dedicated allergen-friendly tent to ensure students with allergies are able to participate. Thinking outside the traditional dining hall to further accommodate students with food allergies really set SMU apart. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Kelly. Special thank you to all the schools that have submitted nominations and to the community who submitted nominations for the Community Choice Award. We look forward to the final day of the 2022 Food Service Summit. Please join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for our first session, Decoding the Food Code. What does that mean for food allergens?